I was on a forum the other day, a Facebook forum, wasting my life away. And this particular forum, they were very pro-Perth. And I said, I think Perth looks cooked, right? And geez, did I cop it? And then, and they said, why? I said, look, all I see in my Facebook feed are people having the next hotspot, and it happens to be in Perth, download this report. And by the way, we happen to have a house and land development for sale there as well. And if all I see is buy in Perth, as you know, I like to do the opposite of what everyone else is doing. I wouldn't buy in Perth. So I thought it was cooked. And then I saw an article the other day that you've released a report that you suggest Melbourne is better than Perth at the moment. And I'd say, why, Terry, with all those taxes down in Victoria?
Yeah, well, a very good question. We're actually doing a webinar, and we're saying why Melbourne makes more sense than Perth. Look, what you've just referred to is what I call the loudest noise in real estate is always the voice of vested interest. So the people are advocating the Perth boom is just going to go on and on. Buy in Perth, you'll make $1 million. You look at who they are, and they're all people who stand to gain massively if that is true. So it's always really important to choose who you listen to when it comes to advice in real estate. People with a vested interest, you need to be a little bit cautious about accepting their advice. Right now, you said it's cooked. I think you're right. Our research indicates that after 3 years of very strong growth, Perth has peaked or past its peak. People are still piling in there because that's what investors do. They herd animals. When 3 years ago, when we started recommending Perth, no one was interested because its track record of the previous 10 years was hopeless. It had shown, in fact, most suburbs in Perth had a negative and a minus in front of their capital growth figure for the previous 10 years. So people were saying, why are you recommending Perth? It's hopeless. We said, well, it's about to change. Now's the time to get in there before prices rise. No one wanted to buy there. Now, when the market is cooked and it's reached its peak and after 3 years of strong growth, now everybody wants to buy there. And it's just the antithesis of smart investing. That's why we think Melbourne makes more sense, because Melbourne is kind of positioned where Perth was 3 years ago. Well, Melbourne hasn't had any price growth for the last couple of years, but we look at the underlying factors, which are forward indicators of price growth, incredibly strong economy, the strongest population growth anywhere in Australia based on the latest figures from the ABS, a big uplift in sales activity recently is always a precursor to price growth, but it hasn't had any price growth since about 2021. So everything's building for the Melbourne market in particular to have a period of growth, and it's kind of positioned where Perth was. And people are saying about Melbourne now what people were saying about Perth 3 years ago. Why would you want to buy there? Now, the big detriment about Melbourne is, of course, the attitude of the idiots who run the state government, who have got a lot of anti-investor policies, and that naturally will deter people. But for those who can get over that hump of, the taxes and the general let's slam investors attitude of the state government for God knows what reason, because it's just going to make the rental shortage worse. If you can get over all that, you can buy pretty well in Melbourne and other parts of Victoria right now, and there's going to be some capital growth, we think.
Do you own an investment property? Washington Brown has helped over 250,000 property investors pay less tax with the depreciation schedule. Visit washingtonbrown.com.au to pay less tax today.